This week on Martyr's Row,
How does Cookie Monster stay so thin?
he never actually swallows the cookies.
Are you hungry for knowledge?
Leviathan, it's what's for dinner. 3, 2, 1. Saint Alban, the first martyr of Britain, was in the days of the Roman persecutions a pagan soldier dwelling at Verulamium. When a Christian priest fleeing his pursuers sought shelter with him, Alban received him into his house, and beholding the consistency of his prayers, he was moved to faith and believed in Christ. When the soldiers came to seize the priest, Alban, clothing himself in the man's garments, gave himself up in his stead, brought before the judge, and commanded to offer sacrifice to the gods of Rome. He confessed boldly that he was now a Christian, and feared not their threats. For this he was condemned to die. As he was led forth to death upon the hill of execution, the waters of the river parted to make way for him. And the executioner, seeing his courage, cast down his sword and declared himself a Christian also. Another was appointed, who struck off Alban's head. And the first executioner, refusing the deed, was himself slain and fell at Alban's side. Thus Alban, who sheltered a stranger for Christ's sake, became the first to shed his blood for his name in the land of Britain. Anno Domini 304. Hey, Paul.
What's up?
So I saw you okay?
I dozed out for a second.
I couldn't tell if you were talking or not.
I was like, my brain was going somewhere else, and I was like, yep, let's bring it back.
Yep, let's do it.
And I said it out loud.
You ever mean to say something and it just didn't come out?
Yeah.
Or you didn't mean to say something and
And
it did come out?
That's what just happened.
Oops.
Meant for that to be my inside voice.
So, you know how like pastors just end up with clips on the internet? And then other people like get over in the bottom corner and then they're like, hey, watch this. I bet you never thought about this before. And then it's someone else. And then there's like another guy that's on top of it that's like, hey, watch this guy that talked about this thing. And there's like so many faces like floating around the...
Oh, yeah, in the video? Yeah. I know what you mean.
And it's like everyone's just using the original content.
Yes.
It's wild. Anyways, I saw one of these the other day. And it's this church, this pastor out of Atlanta. If I mentioned who it was, you'd probably know who it is because he's like all over the place right now, just like really an extremely charismatic pastor. But he said something, and it was clearly like a passing concept, not the main topic of his message.
Okay.
But it was just this part of it that was clipped. And I thought, interesting idea, fun. More for maybe a podcast idea on Martyr's Row between Paul and I, versus it being like in the middle of this guy's message. Because let me just let me just break it down and kind of loosely the way that he
break
did.
It down.
So I'm not going to give you the punchline. I'm going to walk us there.
Okay.
So in Genesis chapter 1,
I'll get my shoes on.
In Genesis chapter 1, it says that the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters there. And then jump down to verse 7. And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. All right, so God doesn't part the waters here. He separates and moves them into the heavens and then
Yeah.
below. So there's this interesting like if you've ever stopped to think about it, it's like, well, wait a minute. So there was water, and then it's separated into two different expanses.
Yeah.
But it seems more vertical than horizontal in separation.
Yes.
So we're going up and down versus left to right.
Mm.
And I think a lot of times we think of like Pangea.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the world is being separated and the earth is all of a sudden, or the land is starting to come up into the waters.
I see.
And you're like, well, that's not really what it's describing.
Right.
Like it's not the separation of waters left to right or horizontally, but rather
Yeah.
vertically.
Yeah.
Right? So then jump over to Genesis chapter 2. And in Genesis chapter 2, so one chapter later, in verse 5, it says, "When no bush of the field was yet in the land, and no small plant of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the land, and there was no man to work the ground. And a mist was going up from the land, and was watering the whole face of the ground." And at that point, you start to get into the forming of man, right?
Yeah.
So it's this idea that there was no rain
Yeah.
in this iteration, in this moment on earth.
Yeah.
Instead, the mist and the dew in the morning is what actually watered the ground in order for there to be life.
Because don't we actually see that again echoed with the flood account?
So that's what I'm getting to.
Oh, okay.
So
I jumped.
So then you go. So this pastor goes, okay. So you have this expanse and the expanse, and there was no rain because it said that the mist comes up right in Genesis chapter 2. But then you ever wonder where the water comes from in the flood? If there was no rain, how does water come from the sky now, where there was mist on the ground?
Mm.
And he goes on to explain that
Hmm.
maybe if we've thought about it, or if we think about it a little bit, that when the waters are separated vertically, that there was a shield or a covering or a layer of water that surrounded the earth and protected the people on the earth as an atmosphere of water that protected us, where people probably lived longer because the environment was controlled more, and thus being part of the firmament.
Yes.
And this being this space. And then when the flood happens, where does the rain come from? Bursts the atmospheric bubble of the waters that were separated, and that water comes down and it hits the earth, floods the earth. And so, in other words, the separation that happens in Genesis 1
is undone.
is undone, and the waters come back together.
Yeah.
And in that, the earth loses its atmosphere, and people start to be affected by the atmosphere, or the lack of atmosphere that was originally designed.
Yeah.
And people start living less.
Yeah.
Or not as long.
Yeah.
And then there are all these effects with the ground and different things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I can see how we would unpack that in an episode of Martyr's Row.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's going to be part of a Sunday morning sermon.
No. That's quite a topic to take on for, like...
Isn't that pretty wild?
Yeah.
But, like, the thing is like...
I love the idea of the guy who, like, just got into church.
Well, that was my thought.
Well, it's like, like, he's like, I just got 5 kids.
Yeah.
Dressed, like, up, fed, dressed. They finally stopped screaming. Now they're in their children's church.
Yeah.
Now it's time for me to sit down and listen to the sermon. So, check this out. You're like, what?
So there was basically a waterbed that the earth was in, and God just popped it one day, and all the water fell down, and now we don't live to 900 years old anymore.
Cool.
Okay. I guess that's how it worked.
By the way, Jesus loves you.
But I love because the clip is, he's like, and then guess where the water came from? He's like, it comes from the sky. All that stuff, all that water came down and it lands on the earth. And now there's no atmosphere. And so people don't live as long. And it's like, he's like really getting into it, like very like in such a way where I'm like, you could be saying anything right now. and I would be fired up.
That's awesome.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, wait, let's think about what you're saying right now. Because here's would be my question. Like, I love that idea and conversation, and I could see how in one of our conversations in an episode where we could unpack that in a way where it's like, actually, I could see parallel themes here.
Yeah, for sure.
And I could see how these things could line up, and I could see how this could be an echoing theme throughout Scripture.
In the ecosphere?
In the ecosphere. But I'm also a little bit like, do we have any record of any early church fathers talking about this concept? Is this part of Judaic tradition at all? Like, is this in the Talmud somewhere? Because I feel like if that is what's happening in Genesis, it would be for sure in the Talmud.
Yeah.
Right? I guess that's my point. That's my takeaway from it.
I see.
Is like, fun idea. Let's talk about it. But to say with authority that that's what's happening,
you're taking some liberty.
Yeah, without going like, there's thousands of years of like rabbinic tradition of people actively studying what happened in Genesis. And I mean, I haven't read anybody that has this idea.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I've ever seen any myths in other cultures that talk about anything like that either. Or any stories.
I don't know, man. Tiddalik and the frog?
That's true.
Tiddalik the frog?
That is true.
Because he swallowed the frog in Australia.
He
swallows
did
up
drink all the water.
the water.
Yeah, and they had to
tickle him.
They had to tickle.
And then he throws it all back up. So maybe that's what this pastor's talking about.
That's actually exactly what he's talking about.
Well, I encourage you to look it up, and I actually am gonna try and search it in the Talmud, like see if there's something written about it.
That would be kind of interesting
because I can see how it can unpack and be part because of the vertical element of it, and less of a horizontal dividing of waters.
I feel like we need a scientist for this.
I agree.
I think that'd be awesome.
Let's go find a scientist.
And also, if you find any frogs, make sure you give them a little tickle.
Tickle your frogs.
They might be taking up too much water.
3, 2, 1.
Candles flicker in the night, shadows dance in soft candlelight. Names are carved deep in memory stone. We walked the path, walked alone. March of the faithful through fire and fear, whispers of courage we still hear. Hearts unbroken, voices rise, saints of the road. Beneath the skies, chains may rattle, swords may fall. They stood steady through it all. From desert sands to cities flame, the witness shines, still speaks our name. March of the faithful through fire and fear, whispers of courage we still hear. Hearts unbroken, voices rise, saints of the road, beneath the skies. Through the ages, the stories gleam, guiding the lost, inspiring the dream. We sing the praise, keep them near. The light remains forever clear. March of the faithful through fire and fear, skies, hearts unbroken, voices rise, saints of the road, beneath the skies.
I'm hungry, Paul.
What are you hungry for?
Honestly, anything and everything.
Okay.
I'm hungry for knowledge. I'm hungry
Oh.
for.
I was expecting the first word to be food.
That's why I went a different.
Yeah, like it.
That's like classic joke setup,
Like
and then
tastes like books.
yeah, kind of volley it up to you, and then take a different
Ah.
direction.
Is it weird that maybe it's just me that does this?
We'll find out.
When I think of like, oh, I'm hungry for knowledge, I just think books.
Okay. Why is that bad?
No, I don't think it's bad. I just
Okay.
think it's like it's interesting.
You said it like it was bad.
Oh no, I didn't mean it to be
Okay.
that. It's like you don't think, oh, me on the computer researching. And it's like, no, it's like
Oh.
books.
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't think thirst for knowledge, hunger for knowledge.
Hunger for knowledge.
Thirst for knowledge, I think, is the
That's-
actual.
I think it might be, but
That's a phrase that's on like a weird poster that I bought in my library when I was in elementary school. That had like a book open with like a cat in it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Remember
No.
book fairs?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Like a book fair that you had like in your library in your elementary school, and there would be
Oh, I
like
see.
posters of like
But I
Ferraris.
was homeschooled, so they
Oh,
looked a little
yeah.
different.
I forgot about that.
So I didn't have the same ones you did.
Yeah, your book fair was just
You had all
going
the-
to a library.
You had all the got milk posters.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
And
Yeah,
I had
like-
to milk the cow.
That's awesome. No, I think if we said like hungry for knowledge, it would be funny now to be like, well, I'm hungry for knowledge, and the first thing you think of is like,
Cookie Monster just devouring books.
or like a spiritual being offering you something.
Would you like some knowledge? Perhaps an apple?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did we already get to Disney?
I think so.
Snow
Very
White?
quickly.
Is Snow White is it the witch
Yeah.
who
Well-
offers the apple?
She's not I guess she is a witch, but isn't she also like the queen or something?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're always a witch. The queens are always witches. Queens are always witches.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's just it. That
actually is how it works.
is it really?
The queen is always a witch.
Oh, in the Disney.
yeah. But also like,
in real life.
yeah, what is it? Life imitates art,
That is true.
or art imitates life. Life
Yeah.
imitates art.
Other way around.
It.
Art imitates.
I think it's meant to be.
No, I think life.
reciprocal.
Yeah, I think you're right. Never mind.
I think the inherent in the phrase is that it's reciprocal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, no, I am hungry. And I had this thought. Like, is there a Christian diet? Paul, is there a Christian diet? I know Daniel had his fast.
Yeah.
Is that part of Christian living?
I think so.
Daniel's fast?
No pork.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
well, yeah. No, you know what? We're just going to get into it because I'm hungry and I want the knowledge. So here's my question.
Okay.
Is part of the Christian diet dragon? Is dragon part of the Christian diet?
I just love to start with you going, oh, I'm hungry.
Hungry, Paul.
I'm hungry. I could go for
Oh,
some
that's
dragon.
why you went Cookie Monster.
Yeah. That dragon tasty.
I also love that like Cookie Monster is a puppet, has no hole in his mouth.
Yeah.
So like
and you
the
can
way
see all the cookies not being eaten.
he's just chomping them and spitting them out.
Yeah.
Like if I ate cookies like that, people would think I was insane.
Which I also love because like the force, I guess is it the guy's hand in his mouth?
Yeah, he's just crushing the cookies.
Because that grip strength has got to be insane.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Or the cookies are very powdery.
That's so true.
What it's like the sugar glass that people break through the glass
Yeah.
in movies, and it's like a really thin glass.
Yeah.
I wonder
yeah.
if those cookies are just like you could
extra
just like
thin, crunchy
hit them like
cookies.
this, and it would just go powder.
Yeah, because you think like just that's gotta hurt after a while.
Yeah, he has strong fingers.
Yeah, you have to.
Grip strength.
Yeah. I want to audition for Cookie Monster. It's like, all right, take this grip test.
Yeah. Shake my hand.
Yeah. You're
That's
hired.
hilarious. But it is kind of funny because like Cookie Monster, I don't know. I keep going back to like if I ate cookies like Cookie Monster, it's not even the motion.
I wanna see it now.
But it's not even the motion. It's the fact that the cookies are not staying in my mouth.
Yeah, you'd have to do it in a way where they don't actually go in your mouth.
No,
Like
yeah,
they go
it's like,
in, but they don't stay.
like you bite down, and then as you let go, the recoil shoots the cookie
Like
back
you have
out
to
of your
spit
mouth.
them as you bite them.
That would actually be difficult to do.
Yeah. I
As
feel like
a-
I just breathe in cookies.
Well, also, like Cookie Monster is an actual monster,
Yeah.
and that's just what monsters do.
And I think that's part of why he's a monster, because he doesn't actually eat the cookies.
True.
Like, his whole goal is to destroy cookies.
Yeah, good point. So, is part of the Christian
So anyway.
is part of the Christian diet dragon?
No, we spent most of this on
Cookie
Cookie
Monster.
Monster. That's what the episode's about.
Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster.
I like that.
It's good.
Dragon.
So dragon.
Do we eat
Which is another
dragon?
kind of monster.
It is a monster,
Yeah.
along with many, many monsters.
So it's an interesting question, and I think
It's a little confusing to me, to be honest.
it's confusing, right?
Yeah.
But I'm
Well-
glad you asked it.
Thanks.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So the dragon in that situation,
Yeah.
and that is Leviathan,
Okay.
who to listeners of this podcast is a familiar character.
Yes.
To people that aren't listeners, welcome. This is not a familiar character, probably.
I also
Maybe it
feel
is.
like going to Leviathan is not the first thing that I would think of.
Oh, interesting.
Because when you say dragon, I often think of like the Satan himself.
Like Revelation 12. Yeah.
Because Leviathan, I think more of as like sea monster,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Which is interesting because, sea monster, which is a kind of dragon. Yeah.
Oh,
is
that's
how he's
true.
described. Yeah.
The Loch Ness monster,
Yeah.
isn't that a dragon?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the depictions are more like
Well,
a
it's-
diplodocus.
It's good word.
It's
I
a
wasn't
name.
expecting that.
It's a name.
That's good.
I have small children; they know dinosaurs.
Well, so actually, on a quick, brief aside,
Is Leviathan a dinosaur?
yeah. Are you familiar with this? I can't remember the year. It's like
Okay.
18 something. There's a dictionary.
Okay,
It's a Webster dictionary. It's
got
like
it.
1860 something, I think.
56.
Maybe.
Who
Do
knows?
you know this?
No,
So the word dinosaur didn't exist.
I do know this.
Okay. And so my mom owns the dictionary.
No way.
The only reason is because it doesn't have that word in it. That's like the main draw to buy this dictionary. And
That's
it's like
wild.
it's because the word was invented in the late 1800s.
Yes.
And so what's interesting about that is because everything that we now call a dinosaur
Mhm.
would have been called a dragon.
Oh, that was what it
Like
was
that
called
was the
beforehand.
term. Yeah.
That
It's like,
makes
It's a
sense.
dragon. Yeah.
Oh,
And we've started since the late 1800s calling them dinosaurs.
you know what's crazy is I never even asked that question
Mm.
because I've heard before, like I've heard the idea that like, hey, Thomas Jefferson didn't even know what a dinosaur was
Oh, yeah.
because that name was not a name
Yeah.
when he was alive.
Right.
And you're like, wait, what?
What?
But I
Yeah.
never stopped to ask the question, then what did they call them?
Right, because they obviously were still, like, the idea was around for the most part.
Yeah, and seeing large skeletons was actually more frequent back then than it is now.
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah.
not necessarily like in the frequency of people finding them, but in the passing of knowledge.
Yeah.
So like it feels like if we find a large set of dinosaur bones or large set of bones, no one talks about it,
Yeah.
which is wild.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
That's a whole thing.
That is a
Yeah.
whole thing.
Which, yeah, it breeds on conspiracy. but
100%.
yeah.
So you're saying up until about 150 years ago, any large creature was called a dragon
Yeah.
for the most part.
Just like, this is a hideous monster. It's a dragon.
it was as generic to them as dinosaur is to us.
At least to my understanding, that's what I would say.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, which is, especially when you look at just like old writings,
Yeah.
or myths and stuff. It's like, oh, dragon this, dragon that. It's like there's a lot of dragons around here. Yeah,
Yeah, good point.
and it's like, oh yeah, they're killing dinosaurs.
Why isn't that talked about more?
It's weird, right? Yeah.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we should be saying that because people automatically go to
Like
to-
fire breathing.
well, to myth. It's like that actual thing, the whole thing didn't exist.
We make it. That's the fantasy. Is what we make it.
Yeah, that
When it's like that was just their word for it. Yeah.
yes. Well, no, because what we say is, I think what like we would naturally lean into in that story would be like, well, there wasn't actually a large beast at all.
Oh, I see.
That was just a physical representation of what was going on in their coming of age moment. So the individual had to overcome a large obstacle. Let's call it a dragon.
Sure.
Instead of going, no, they actually fought a beast.
Yeah. Well, so that's actually kind of the interesting thing. I'm glad you brought that up
Yeah.
because that's even where some of the discrepancy even with this question comes in
Okay.
of like, is it
Do we eat dragon?
symbolic or is it literal?
I gotcha.
Metaphorical or is it literal?
Gotcha.
Because I think there are in some, especially like knights, it's like, I'm not going to say they didn't fight a giant real monster,
Yeah.
but also it's like, it could have just been metaphorical
That's true.
for like that coming of age moment.
That's true. Depending on what...
I'm not in a place to say that it is or it isn't real.
well, and also depending on what literary avenue it arrives to us at.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how to get to the end of that sentence. But it's like, is this something that someone was just sitting down writing a fun story to tell people? Or is this an account of something?
Yeah, because the other part of that too is even saying that, oh, well, this is just like a metaphor for them overcoming something big in their life.
Sure.
It's like, well, that also, you saying that comes from a presupposition.
Right.
And it's the presupposition that those things aren't real.
Oh, correct.
When it's like, wait, hold on, where'd you come up with that?
Yeah, you're starting with dragons are not real.
Yeah.
So
that answer makes sense based on your presupposition to this.
right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, in order for us to say dragons in ancient stories are not actual beings, we would have to also conclude that dinosaurs never existed.
Yeah. In some
Because-
ways, yeah.
Because that could be an equivalent of, and then they fought a T-Rex.
Right. Which and that's the other part of it too. It's like, so we see that these things did exist.
Yeah.
So why are we so confident to say they didn't see them?
We're also finding out
Yeah.
all kinds of things about the structure of like them putting together dinosaur bones
Oh, yes.
and being like, I don't think that's actually how it was shaped.
Yeah.
Or I think you guys put it together wrong. Or like,
Which is, I think, didn't they wipe out like 3 or 4 different dinosaurs as a whole? They're like, actually, it's the same thing. We just mixed it up.
well, as a dad with small boys,
Oh, yeah.
I have found that the newer book you get that has dinosaurs in it, the more feathers there are.
I have. So actually, it's funny.
Which is really weird.
That was something that I heard when I was like 9 or 10.
That they had
There's like,
feathers.
oh, they're actually like chickens are descendants of dinosaurs. And I was like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then now it's like that's becoming more of a mainstream idea that's like, no, these are just birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just massive beasts.
Yeah.
But like imagine like a huge like crow
Yeah.
that was like the size of a school bus.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
And it is.
But imagine if it was a hawk.
right?
Like a crow would be kind of annoying, but a hawk that's like
You're like, oh, that giant hawk again. Or that giant crow.
it just
Ugh.
flew by and ate the whole village in one sweep.
Yeah.
It's like that's crazy. It's literally the size of a school bus. Its stomach.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing it's kind of showing, though, at least with, we'll see where it ends up going in the next 10 years. But,
Yeah, true.
it's like, yeah, we're kind of finding it's like,
You
these
think we're
aren't
gonna
just
end
like
up back
giant
at dragons?
These aren't, oh, we'll end up back, don't worry. It's like, these probably aren't just giant lizards. They're also just giant things.
Yeah, true.
And so it's like, okay, where'd all these giant things come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so
No,
that's
but
my
I
segue.
feel like that's a. I feel like that is a succinct idea. Is like consider that everything that talked about dragons, and it's funny because when you say that, I think of like Shrek or like
yeah,
like you think of those things and you're like, oh, this is just some mythical thing. Those beings didn't exist. But as soon as you replace it with dinosaurs, now it becomes a children's story.
right.
It's like
yeah.
it's like there
if
is
you
no
say
middle
dragon, it's
ground.
fantasy. If you say dinosaur, it's for kids.
Yeah. It's like adult fantasy
yes.
is like
yeah.
dragons and like mighty warriors,
yeah.
and then turn them into dinosaurs, and it's for your kids.
Well, so that was actually when I remember when I was
It's
young.
propaganda.
So we're being brainwashed. We're being lied to.
Bring back the dragons.
Where's my tinfoil hat?
Wait, should we say that as Christians? Bring back the dragons?
No.
Fair enough. So Ethan,
I don't need to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, just crawl out of bed and be like, oh, there's a dragon in my front yard.
well, there is a
Can you shoo them
there
away?
is a-
Like,
there
just throw
is a-
gold? I don't know.
there is a book about how dragons love taco parties.
Do they really?
It's a fantastic book, but they do not like spicy salsa.
I also love taco parties.
Me too.
If you're throwing one, you can invite me.
But dinosaurs don't like spicy salsa.
What's the reason
Sorry,
for that?
dragons.
Just because? Or?
It upsets their stomach.
That makes sense. They
Yeah,
start
they're
breathing fire.
Exactly.
They get indigestion.
Yeah.
Start spitting fire.
That's what happens. And then in the book, they destroy the kid's house.
Oh, that's terrible.
But then they build it back up. A bunch of
that's-
dragons rebuild the
they're
house.
like, hey, sorry, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
I didn't say it was a good book, but it's enjoyable.
You did say it was a good book.
Okay, fair enough. I like it.
I'd read it.
Yeah, it's like dragons love tacos or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think everyone loves tacos.
So then should we eat dragons? If we don't want dragons, should we eat them instead?
well, you know what's interesting? The Bible, in some ways, alludes to the fact that they were given for food.
Okay.
Interesting, right? Actually, it actually says that.
That dragons were given for food?
Yeah, or at least one dragon.
Paul, chapter verse me.
I love the fact that you said that. Let's turn to Psalm 74,
Okay, in my digital Bible.
please. Please turn your digital pages.
I figured we were either going to Genesis or Psalms.
We'll end up in Genesis, don't worry.
Okay.
Because actually, Psalm 74, for those that haven't listened too much to the podcast, it actually is, in ways, another creation story.
Mm.
And so, so 74, starting in verse 14.
Yeah.
It really kind of gets the meat
Yeah,
of where we're at. Actually, I'm gonna start.
Yeah, give
In-
us some context.
I'm
Paul.
gonna start in verse 12.
Do it.
That's the context.
Do it.
And it says in ESV,
Yes.
"Yet God, my King, is from of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. You divided the sea by your might. You broke the heads of the sea monsters on the waters. You crushed the heads of Leviathan. You gave him as food for the creatures of the wilderness. You split open springs and brooks. You dried up ever-flowing streams. Yours is the day. Yours is also the night. You have established the heavenly lights and the sun. You have fixed all the boundaries of the earth. You have made summer and winter." So, like, this is a creation story.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this is it also includes, which we've actually talked about this with Genesis and the correlation, or the not correlation, but the kind of poking that it does to
The Mesopotamian myth.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're kind of seeing that here as well,
Yeah.
where it's saying, "Oh, you crushed the head of the Leviathan.
Yeah.
You killed the sea monsters."
It's echoing the creation story.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then it's saying you gave it to as food for creatures of the wilderness,
That's wild.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
Other translations say people of the wilderness,
Okay.
which is also interesting.
That is interesting.
And so there's a lot of debate on what or who that is.
The people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What are the creatures?
Yeah, yeah.
Some people are like, oh, it's animals. Some people are like, it's people that lived in the wilderness.
It's actually King James. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces and gavest him to be meat to the people inhabiting the wilderness.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
And then
But the King James didn't have the Dead Sea Scrolls, so
that's true.
What do they know?
They don't know anything. All they had was that pesky Septuagint.
But, ye have little faith.
Even yeah. Never mind, I won't say that.
Yeah. Continue on.
Anyway. So what's interesting,
But the ESV says creatures.
it does say
So
creatures.
are people accounted for as part of creatures?
That's a good question.
What type of people are accounted for as as part of creatures?
Well, so it's also interesting because it in that that chapter it's talking about him splitting the waters,
Yes.
and in the same breath it's saying you killed the sea monsters, you cut off their heads, and it's like, okay, well, what's going on here? So
Yeah.
because in some ways you could take it as a literal thing and be like, oh, he's literally killing sea monsters. But then when you go to Genesis account of creation,
Okay.
you don't see that language there necessarily.
True.
But what we do see is, so in this, it's talking about the waters and splitting the seas, killing monsters that live in the seas. And I'll say this first, and then I'll show some of my work.
Okay.
Which is, there's a very metaphorical thing that we see consistent throughout Scripture, where waters and chaos beings inside of waters,
Yes.
they are chaos.
Yes.
So it's like it talks about them in a way that doesn't really say that these are literal actual things,
Yeah.
but it does say, hey, these represent just chaos and destruction and evil.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And so one thing that's interesting is we see that with in creation, where it's like, okay, well, when God said in Genesis 1:1, it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. It's like, okay, well, what did he create?
Right.
Because he didn't create land yet. He just created the earth and the heavens. But it's like, let's focus on the earth.
Yes.
And it's like, well, what did the earth look like?
Yeah.
And it says, oh, it was formless and void.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right.
It's like, oh, he created this thing and it was nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
It wasn't nothing.
And so we actually get our answer. I mean, you can extrapolate it from looking at what he created.
Yeah.
Where it says, like, then he split the waters from the waters. Like, where'd the waters come from?
Yeah.
He never created the waters.
Right.
But it's like, oh, he actually did.
Yes.
He created them in the beginning.
Yes.
And so formless and void is showing it's chaotic, it's water. And to make that more concrete, we actually get that in 2 Peter 3,
Okay.
I believe. I don't remember what verse it is off the top of my head. We'll pull that up so we can make that more concrete.
Yeah. And that is an interesting piece where it's like when you actually look at the Hebrew and what it's referencing and to what it's speaking to the myths and the creation stories that already exist when Moses is writing this down. And Yahweh specifically speaking to the idea that, yes, you thought that this is how creation happened. I'm saying I made those creatures that you say created creation.
Yes. Yeah, and there's I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, but there is that tease in the Hebrew language in Genesis when it talks about the deep.
Yes.
In the Hebrew word there, which is tahom, which is the Hebrew equivalent to Tiamat, which ties right back into the Mesopotamian myth about Marduk and Tiamat.
Yeah, we have an episode called "Is Tiamat Leviathan?"
Yes. Yes. That's where you find this. And so we're kind of seeing that language, and then it echoed again in Psalm 74.
Yeah.
But here we are, 2 Peter 3. I'm just going to start in verse 1.
Yeah, go for it.
It says, "This is now the second letter that I am writing to you, beloved. In both of them I am stirring up your sincere mind by way of reminder that you should remember the predictions of the holy prophets and the commandment of the Lord and Savior through your apostles. Knowing this first of all, that scoffers will come in the last days with scoffing." Interesting, funny.
Scoffers come with scoffing.
Weird. "Following their own sinful desires. They will say, 'Where is the promise of his coming?' For ever since the fathers fell asleep, all things are continuing as they were from the beginning of creation. For they deliberately overlook this fact that the heavens existed long ago, and the earth was formed out of water and through water by the word of God. And that by means of these the world that then existed was deluged with water and perished.
Yeah, so speaking of the flood.
Yes, but it's also speaking of creation.
Right.
So it's kind of this interesting thing where, actually, it even continues on there, which we'll get to in a minute, which is like, okay, so he created the earth out of the water. So he created order from chaos. But then it became chaos, and then he destroyed it again and started over. And he did that by basically just like pulling up the chaos again.
Yeah.
And then sinking it down.
It's just weird that, like, verse 5, for they deliberately overlook this fact that the heavens existed long ago, and the earth was formed out of water and through water by the word of God. When's the last time you heard a sermon preached that talked about the importance of water?
Yeah.
And like so when we go Darwinian evolution, you go, where does life come from in Darwinian evolution? It came out of the water.
Yes.
Where'd they get that from?
Everyone in history, apparently.
Well, if you read the Bible, it actually like that.
Yes.
That's actually where life comes from.
Yes.
In the Bible, and
Yes.
that's not a crazy statement. I just read 2 Peter.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like all it does is, in a way, it kind of just makes it more concrete what Genesis is already telling us.
Yeah, the earth was formed out of water and through water by the word of God. And that by means of these, the world then existed, was deluged with water and perished. So it was formed out of water, through water, and destroyed by water.
Yes.
So is water good?
I mean, doesn't seem like it.
It seems like water is chaos.
Yes.
Which is kind of the whole point, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of the interesting thing about this. And I'm going to speak. I'm just going to let myself go here.
Go for it.
And then I'll ground it again.
Yeah.
And kind of maybe contradict myself. We'll
Okay.
find out. But it's like in some ways the way he talks about it and the way we see it through Genesis, to me it's like, okay, initially when I read that, it's like, wait, so are all these things just metaphorical and they didn't actually happen, but they're just a symbolic way to talk about them?
Got it.
And now we're back to, I can't remember the famous knight right now, but it's like him and the dragon.
Shrek?
No. But yeah. Sir Shrek.
King Arthur? I don't know.
Arthur. I can't remember. There's a famous story. It doesn't matter. But anyway, a knight
Sleeping Beauty?
killing a dragon, and then we're like, oh, actually, this is
Beowulf?
all metaphorical. That is a good story. But
It is.
and it's like, oh yeah, this is all just metaphorical. It's them overcoming this extreme obstacle.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, cool. But then we have the story of the flood.
Yes.
And it's like, wait, no, it's telling us that this actually happened.
Yes.
It's not saying but it's also, it's double layered. It's like, yeah, they are overcoming this chaos and creating order. God is doing that thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And so this isn't just metaphorical, but it's also a metaphor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, the way that God consistently through the Bible tames chaos is through way of water.
Yeah.
So like what I mean by that is if you look at the casting out of demons, the casting out of spiritual things, the Jonah in the whale, like everything is going through the portal of water in order to be bound or tamed.
Yeah.
Or to meet their destruction.
Yeah.
So how does the earth meet its destruction? Through the flood.
Yeah.
Right? So then how is it formed? It was shaped by water.
Yeah.
And then the waters were divided in order for there to be order.
Yes.
And then they were undivided in order for there to be destruction. Divided once again for there to be order.
Yes.
So God is taming water, and by through it creating order and what is good,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
It's very interesting.
Because then is the water itself a being,
Hmm.
or does it contain creatures and beasts?
Yeah, because I mean, so what's interesting with that, I'm going to take a quick sidestep.
Go.
Because, and this also ties
Go.
back into go into 2 Peter, is because then after the flood, he says, hey, I'm not going to do this ever again.
Right.
And then 2 Peter says, yeah, he's not going to do it again. Next time it's fire.
Yeah, true.
Which we didn't read that part, but that's what comes next.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, so this water thing, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I got a new gimmick.
Yeah.
Not that God has gimmicks, but
Yeah.
and so
He doesn't tend to do the same thing twice, the same way,
yes.
but he is thematically consistent,
Yes, that's correct.
which is kind of cool. So like how he's going to do it quite literally is almost always different,
Yes.
but thematically and the tools he uses are almost all the same.
Yeah, which I think is intentional.
For sure.
And I think it's not like
It shows order
yeah.
is what it shows. It
Yeah.
shows that things were created for a unique and specific purpose
Yes.
by him.
Yeah.
So he's going to use them for their original purpose.
And I think what's cool about it on the other side of it is it's also a way of showing that, hey, this isn't like a formula that you follow.
Right.
Like, I'm actually the one doing this.
Yeah.
And I know every way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then do we eat dragons?
Yeah, so we'll jump into that now.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is kind of the fun bit. Because so now we've basically set up the idea that, hey, all this Leviathan talk
Mhm.
in the chaos, it's just a metaphor for chaos.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And so Psalm 74, Genesis, I think even
2 Peter.
Revelation kind of brings it up. 2 Peter, it's like, even Isaiah 27, I think, kind of talks about this. And it's like, yeah, all these things, it's a metaphor. But then we've got Job,
Okay.
where God describes Leviathan and Behemoth
Yeah.
in pretty vivid detail.
Okay.
So you're like, wait, how do you describe something that's a metaphor?
Right. Where in Job?
Is it chapter 31?
Sure. Job's final appeal.
No, it's not that one. It's when God starts talking. That was the first number that came to my head.
Okay.
I always forget which chapter.
Did you want to read it?
Um,
Doesn't matter.
it could be fun. I wish I remembered the reference right now.
Okay. Yeah, keep going. I'll find
okay.
it.
So I mean, it's so it's interesting because it's like, and if you find it, we can read it out. But it's like, okay, so if this thing is just a metaphor, well, how do you vividly describe? Like, if I'm like, oh yeah, this dog, like dogs, but dogs aren't real. It's just a metaphor for, meat. I don't know.
Sure.
And then it's like, okay, this dog has fur. It has 4 legs. It has a tail.
Oh,
it's
right.
like, wait, how does meat have all those things?
Yeah.
You just told me it's a metaphor, but now you're saying it's a real thing. And so for me, it begs the question of, is it real or is it metaphor? And I think there's a place to say it's both. It depends on the context.
Sure.
Where in some places, I think that it literally is talking about a real ferocious being that existed and roamed the earth. Because even with Job, he's not shocked when God's telling him about it.
Right.
And we see this in other myths, too, where they talk about similar things. Where it's like these beings just kind of existed. And they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But what he also gets is, oh, this is an instrument of chaos.
Yes.
And so there's a larger meaning to what he's also talking about when he's referring to this real creature.
Yeah. Does he name Leviathan?
He does. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find it.
That's like one of the big things that I think about, and this is
I found it.
this is what makes it like kind of problematic, and like it makes it problematic for us, meaning we tend to brush these things off because the older the story gets, the more fantastical it seems to our current and modern reality. And that's difficult because that's always going to happen. It's like when your grandmother, your great-grandmother tells you a story, it feels fantastical to your reality. Like the idea of like Like the idea of like just like silly tropes of like I walked up the hill
Yeah, both ways to
both
school.
ways to school in the snow
Yeah.
with no shoes.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's not real. And it's like, no, but it felt that way.
Yeah.
Like it felt that way to them. And those things are real things. Like a hill is real, snow's real, like school's real, hills are real. Like
You can imagine all of those things.
yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, was it an optical illusion that they were actually walking uphill both ways? No, it's just that one way was uphill, then the other way was exhaustion.
Yes.
So there's like it's taking a concrete idea and extrapolating it, exaggerating it into a mirrored metaphor.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where like the further back we go, the more fantastical things get. Because to be honest with you, it's funny how with a book like Job, we like Christians are so quick to be like, yes, God spoke to Job, no question. Okay, but why isn't that as fantastical as what God is expressing as literal things?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I do.
we're like, yeah, I've never experienced the skies opening up and God talking to me. I've never experienced, let's say, an angel of the Lord interacting with me directly in a physical way. And we don't know that we don't really even know that in the Job conversation that it's not a prayerful consciousness exchange.
Sure. Yeah.
Where maybe Job is in a state of vision, or he's in a daydream, or he is by himself communicating to God internally.
Yeah.
That God is speaking to his consciousness.
Right.
Right. Like we don't know necessarily how God is speaking, but in that way we would go, yeah, God speaks to people and he does it through the Bible. Cool. That's fantastical.
Yes. Yeah.
In a similar category as saying what God is saying is and can be true actual things. We just tend not to like.
We don't focus on because I think
they're on the same level and same category, like they're together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's weird that we would be non-questioning one and throwing out the other altogether.
And I think some of it.
And I think that's why some people do just
on-
throw the whole thing out.
Yeah.
I think that's why most people throw the whole thing out.
That's true.
Because they go,
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah. Well, if Leviathan's not real, then why would Job have even talked to the God who created him?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fair point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I'd be on the side of both of them are real.
And I think that's where oftentimes, because this is kind of how we're taught, and then we've kind of tried to harmonize the two things.
Sure.
Which ends up just creating problems.
Yeah.
Which is like, in theory, I think a lot of Christians are spiritual.
Yeah.
It's like we believe in spiritual things. We believe in a spiritual God.
Yeah.
But in practice, we're actually materialists.
For sure.
And it's because, well, okay, God's real. Okay, this miracle happened. Did it?
Right.
It's like, yeah, God's real. He spoke to this guy. That's cool. I believe that. Yeah, he said Leviathans are real.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's also a dualism of life, meaning like most of life is mundane. Most of life is like I got to go to Walmart and who knows what I'm going to run into, and all I'm trying to do is get more ketchup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I need more, I don't know, I need milk. It's like, all right, gotta go do this thing. Well, that seems so mundane and annoying and very like surface level material practical 5 senses. And then you go, and then I'm going to go to church and interact with the creator of the world. And like these two things feel, I think we've siloed them in a way that's not beneficial to our ability to understand and allow the supernatural space to be invading our our every fiber and every moment.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's easy to go into a conversation like this and go, yeah, most of the Bible doesn't feel like it's actually real.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, that's because the only place that you interact with the Creator is in a siloed building.
Yeah.
And in that siloed building, all those people in there think that every other siloed building is wrong.
Mm.
And it's like everything is so sectioned off that it's hard to pull it all together and go, actually, there's something bigger going on and everything is connected and all working together.
Yes.
And that's kind of what God's saying to Job.
Yeah.
Hey, this is all connected and working together.
Yeah. It's just a lot bigger than you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was so close. Only because I got one number out of the two right.
Oh,
It's Job 41.
there you go.
I said 31.
And I brought you to like 38 or something. So
You did. I was like, there it is. So starting in verse 1,
okay.
ESV.
Nice.
It says, "Can you draw out Leviathan with a fishhook, or press down his tongue with a cord? Can you put a rope in his nose or pierce his jaw with a hook? Will he make any pleas to you? Will he speak to you soft words? Will he make a covenant with you to take him for your servant forever? Will you play with him as with a bird, or will you put him on a leash for your girls? Will traders bargain over him? Will they divide him up among the merchants? Can you fill his skin with harpoons, or his head with fishing spears? Lay your hands on him. Remember the battle. You will not do it again. Behold, the hope of a man is false. He is laid low even at the sight of him. No one is so fierce that he dares to stir him up. Who then is he who can stand before him? Who has first given to me that I should repay him? Whatever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not keep silence concerning his limbs, or his mighty strength, or his goodly frame. Who can strip off his outer garment? Who would come near him with a bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? Around his teeth is terror. His back is made of rows of shields, shut up closely as with a seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They clasp each other and cannot be separated. His sneezings flash forth light, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the dawn. Out of his mouth go flaming torches. Sparks of fire leap forth. Out of his nostrils come forth smoke, as from a boiling pot and burning rushes. His breath kindles coals, and a flame comes forth from his mouth. In his neck abides strength, and terror dances before him. The folds of his flesh stick together, firmly cast in him and immovable. His heart is as hard as stone, hard as the lower millstone. When he raises himself up, the mighty are afraid. At the crashing they are beside themselves. Though the sword reaches him, it does not avail, nor the spear, the dart, or the javelin. He counts iron as straw, and bronze as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee, for him sling stones are turned to stubble. Clubs are counted as stubble. He laughs at the rattle of javelins. His underparts are like sharp potsherds. He spreads himself like a threshing sledge of the mire. He makes the deep boil like a pot. He makes the sea like a pot of ointment. Behind him he leaves a shining wake. One would think the deep to be white-haired. On earth there is not like his, a creature without fear. He sees everything that is high. He is king over all the sons of pride. So I just read the entire chapter, actually.
Yeah, that's...
Because it was all about him. But
Well, by the end of that, you start to go, wait, is Leviathan the ancient serpent?
right? Like, whoa.
But also the idea of like being like potentially, is Leviathan the ancient serpent cast to the earth, tamed by God in the waters, and then pushed down through the waters and chained in Tartarus?
Which is interesting. Which that goes into a whole timeline thing too.
I know.
Even that we've already talked about of like, all right, when does this happen?
Right. Yeah, that's...
And it's like, that could be one of.
Sure.
Because I think that's the other thing we can't ignore in this or can't leave out is he could just be talking about a spiritual being
Sure.
that is on earth, that was cast down to earth.
Yes. But also,
Or it could just be a physical being that he created in creation.
but here's the other thing. Pulling all the way back out and going,
Yeah.
okay, Genesis, when it's talking
Mm.
about this, it is hinting at a Mesopotamian god,
Yes.
right? Job is potentially living in Mesopotamia,
Yes.
and Job is written pre the books of Moses.
Correct. Yeah.
So the story of Job is very much within the Mesopotamian world.
Yes. Yeah.
So when we go back to anything that interacted with the Mesopotamian culture, we start to get the language of a Leviathan
Yeah.
or a sea creature
Mm-hmm.
who ruled the earth,
Yeah.
right? And that being was tamed by God. Also, God says he created him.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing is like, is that the ancient serpent in Revelation?
Hmm.
Or to your point, is it just a serpent?
Yeah.
One
I think-
of potentially many
That's because that's the part with
or different.
because I don't know if we read this far in Psalm 74, but it talks about like, oh, I think this was in the beginning. It's like before you laid the foundations of the earth, you crushed these monsters.
Right.
So it's kind of like, oh, there was stuff that was going on, and God tamed it. He created the order from the chaos.
Well,
He took the beings that were there and was like, yeah, you're defeated.
and that gets back to our discussion about the timeline of when did Satan fall,
Right.
and helps elevate the concept of pre-Genesis 1.
Yes.
Pre-Genesis 1, 2.
Yeah.
That like this taming of the waters
Mm-hmm.
is potentially the idea echoed in these other passages like Job, where it's saying this is all happening as part of creation. That
Yeah.
in some ways creation wasn't a everything from nothing, but rather a taming of chaos into order.
Yeah.
So taking what had been created and bringing order to it,
Right.
which is what God is doing.
Yeah.
And he's doing it by his words.
Yes.
But okay, let's back all the way out
Yeah.
because so Ezekiel 29:3. I'm going to read this to you. Have you read this?
Not recently.
Ezekiel 29:3, because there's something about this that I'm interested in, because we're kind of kicking off of Psalm 74
Yes.
passage. So Ezekiel 29 verse 3, it says, "Thus says the Lord, behold, I am against you, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lies in the midst of his streams, that says, my Nile is my own. I made it for myself. I will put hooks in your jaws and make the fish of your stream stick to your scales." Sounds a lot like Job.
It does.
"And I will draw you up out of the midst of your streams with all the fish of your streams that stick to your scales. And I will cast you out into the wilderness, you and all the fish of your streams. You shall fall on the open field and not be brought together or gathered. To the beasts of the earth and to the birds of the heavens I give you as food." So tying all of this stuff together, this
Yeah.
Ezekiel passage,
Yeah.
Ezekiel 29:3, is basically echoing the sea beast mentioned in Job, mentioned in Psalm 74, and then talking about the ripping apart of this being and scattered along the land. So
Yeah.
it's this sea beast that says, this water is mine.
Mm.
He literally says the
Yeah.
Nile is mine
Yeah.
in Egypt. And God says, I'm going to pull you out of there. I'm going to put a hook in your jaw,
Yeah.
pull you out of the water, rip you apart, and throw you across the land.
Yes.
So I'm removing you from your safe place. I'm pulling you apart, destroying you, and then I'm feeding you to the animals, the
Yeah.
creatures, and the birds of the air.
Yes.
And that's the similar idea.
Yeah, because it's that idea of
Like the destruction of Leviathan was
Yeah.
a removal from the waters. And a
yes.
scattering into the wilderness, and the creatures of the wilderness and of the land would feed
Yeah.
on that.
Because like the metaphorical language in that is, and even going back to even creation,
Yeah.
it's the idea of like, all right, who are the creatures of the wilderness that feed on this? It's like, well, it's everything that takes part in God's order.
Yes.
So when God first created the earth, as we know it today,
Yeah.
or as I guess we did know it then,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so all the creatures that fed upon Leviathan, the chaos,
Yeah.
those are the ones that are now partaking in the order that
Right.
God created from chaos.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting with that,
Wait. Go ahead.
okay, say what you're going to say. If you
No, I'll finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting about this is, so, and this is going back into the original question.
Okay.
Um,
Because I have a question to end your question.
okay, I like it. Is that later in some Jewish texts, actually we see it specifically in, I think the Talmud actually talks about it like very vividly. And then even in like Second Temple literature, other
Okay.
Second Temple literature,
Yeah.
Enoch being a part of that,
Yeah.
we actually see it kind of explicitly say like, oh no, the righteous will feed on the Leviathan in the end.
Yeah.
And so that ties into, I think we even see some language in that in Revelation, but it's referring to the bridegroom being united and finally given. And it's like, oh, then it's like part of the feast is Leviathan, is the assumption in there. And so what's interesting is that there's the metaphorical side of it that
Sure.
it seems like we're getting from Scripture, that's saying like, oh, the righteous will partake in God's order.
Yeah. So that.
But then there's
Yeah.
the other side of it where people have taken it literal
Yeah.
and said like, we will literally eat a dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it does also make me think of you've prepared a table for me in the midst of my enemies.
Yeah.
And then it also makes me think, and this would be maybe this is like
Yeah.
maybe this is the question. I like that idea that like Leviathan in the end is the feast that the groom has prepared for the bridegroom.
Yeah. And because
As
when you
an
look at
ultimate
it,
conquering.
because when you look at it in that way, it's like we're looking at, here's the culmination of God's establishing order.
Yes.
And now we're all conquerors with him.
Yes, because
Yeah.
he did it in the beginning.
Yes.
And he comes and brings us into and sets a table, a place for us
Yeah.
to partake in his victory
Yes.
over not the end point, but all the way from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, there's echoes of Genesis 1 in the beginning, and then John 1 in the
Mhm.
beginning. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that idea that like it's the tying together of all these things, that what happened in the beginning was speaking to what will happen in the end, and the beginning spoke to the solution all at the same time. That it's all interconnected. That there was always going to be a table for the righteous
Mm-hmm.
to partake in the victories of Yahweh.
Yes.
Which means that from the taming of the waters in Genesis 1, we're already speaking of the victory of Christ.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is awesome.
It's pretty cool.
It also makes me think this, and this is the question that maybe we should end with.
I like it.
Was the destruction and the tearing apart of Leviathan and the spreading out onto the earth the original 5 fish and 3 loaves multiplied to the 5,000? Is that a glimpse of the marriage supper?
Is that you? Well, so actually, can I say this real quick?
Yes.
How many chapters are there in John? Is it 31 chapters?
I don't know.
It's either 21 or 31. I can't
Okay.
remember. I'm getting my numbers
Is it a
mixed up today.
significant number?
Not necessarily.
I'll find out in 2 seconds.
Perfect. So what's interesting is, so that's it's post
21.
21. Okay. So I keep
1.
wanting to say 31.
You added 10 and then you subtracted.
I subtracted.
Oh no, both times you subtracted.
I just went in the middle.
Nice.
So what's cool about that chapter is that is the third time that Jesus appeared to the apostles post resurrection. And so in that chapter, that's when they're out fishing, and then this figure, they didn't know it was him at the time.
Oh yeah.
Says, "Hey, cast the net on the other side."
Yeah.
And then that's when I think it says 153 fish they find. They're like, and the net didn't break,
Right.
but we pulled up all these fish, and they all know it's Jesus, but they're like, we didn't ask because we already know it's him, even though we didn't recognize him.
Yes.
And so what's interesting is like that's again, it's another point of showing like he has authority over all of these things, including the water.
Yes.
Because then even in that's where it ends with him asking Peter. He says, "Do you love me?" He says, "Yeah, of course." He's like, "Okay, then feed my sheep."
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you love me?" He's like, "Yes, I just told you that."
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay," and I can't remember the second thing. He's like, "Okay, do this to my sheep."
Yeah.
And then he asks him again a third time. He's like, "Do you love me?" And
Yeah.
Peter's like, "Goodness gracious, yes."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, guide my sheep."
Right.
Yeah. And it's this calling into like, "Hey, I have authority and I'm giving it to you. Now
Yes.
lead my people."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a restoring of the 3 times that Peter denied him.
Yes.
Also,
Which is a cool reversal.
Also, you go, why was it important that it was 153 fish? Because I think you're right. I think that is the number.
Yeah.
I think because, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, but the number 153, because the Hebrew alphabet is also their numeric system, there is a number equivalent to every word. And
Yeah.
I believe that 153 spells out like I am, or
Does it really?
spells out like the name of the Lord, because
That's
after
cool. Yeah.
they know the number, then they knew it was the Lord.
Yeah.
So there's a correlation between the number itself and their recognition of who it was,
Oh, that's cool.
because Peter jumps from the boat.
Yes.
So that's the thing, is like they count the fish first, and they don't know who the guy is.
Yeah.
They count the fish, and then they go, "Oh, it's the Lord."
Yeah.
And then Peter jumps in the water and swims back to shore
Yeah.
and gets there
Yeah.
before the rest of them. And Jesus is just like cooking fish. He's just cooking Leviathan. He's going to
That's
serve
right.
them the
It's like,
dragon.
I hope you guys are hungry for dragon.
Yeah,
Sea monsters on the menu.
I love that. So, I guess the Christian, not diet, but maybe banquet, buffet.
The marriage feast.
What will be served at the Christian buffet?
Leviathan.
Leviathan. 3,
Hope you're
2,
hungry.
1.
How does Cookie Monster stay so thin?
I was thinking about this.
Why can't I talk?
He never actually swallowed the
Did
peanut.
you know that Cookie Monster?
He never actually swallowed the cookies. Can you believe it? This week on Martyr Show,
How does Cookie Monster stay so thin?
he never actually swallows the cookies.
Are you hungry for knowledge?
Leviathan, it's what's for dinner. 3, 2, 1.